If you're building retrieval for ARG application or a product catalog on Azure AI Search, you face a deceptively simple choice: keyword search, vector search, or hybrid. Pick wrong and you get either irrelevant results or a search bill and latency profile you didn't expect. In the next few minutes, I'll break down how each actually works under the hood, where each one shines, where each one hurts, and a concrete rule for when to reach for which. By the end, you'll know exactly which retrieval mode to wire into your next index. Keyword search in Azure AI Search uses BM25, a ranking function that scores documents by term frequency and inverse document frequency. In plain terms, it rewards documents that contain your exact query words, especially rare ones. It's fast, cheap, and completely explainable. You can see why a document matched. It's unbeatable for exact identifiers like product codes, error numbers, or names. The weakness is that it's literal. Search for laptop and you won't match notebook computer. It has no notion of meaning, so synonyms, paraphrases, and typos slip right past it unless you hand-build synonym maps. Vector search takes a different path. You run your text through an embedding model, like Azure OpenAI's text embedding 3 large, which turns it into a high-dimensional vector that captures meaning. At query time, you embed the query the same way and find the nearest neighbors using HNSW, an approximate nearest neighbor algorithm. Now laptop and notebook computer land close together because they mean similar things. Vectors handle paraphrase, multilingual queries, and fuzzy intent beautifully. The cost: you pay to generate embeddings. You store large vectors that inflate index size, and results are harder to debug. And vectors can miss exact keyword matches that a human clearly wanted. So here's the head-to-head. Keyword wins on precision for exact terms, on cost, and on explainability. Vector wins on recall for fuzzy, semantic, and conversational queries. Keyword fails silently on synonyms and natural language. Vector fails on exact tokens, rare jargon, and acronyms it never saw during training. In practice, most real query traffic is a mix. People type both specific terms and vague intent. That's exactly why you rarely want to bet everything on one mode, and it sets up the obvious move. Hybrid search runs BM25 and vector search in parallel against the same index, then merges the two ranked lists using Reciprocal Rank Fusion, RRF. RRF doesn't compare raw scores. It combines each document's rank position from both lists, which sidesteps the problem that BM25 scores and cosine similarity aren't on the same scale. The result? You catch exact matches and semantic matches in one query. Microsoft's own benchmarks show hybrid plus semantic ranking consistently outperforms either mode alone. For most RAG workloads, hybrid is the sensible default. Here's what a hybrid query actually looks like against the Azure AI Search Index. You pass a plain text search term for BM25 and a vector query for the embedding in the same request. Add the semantic configuration to enable Microsoft's L2 reranker, which is a cross-encoder that rescores the top results using deep language understanding. This is your highest quality setup. Pricing and model availability shift. So check the current Azure docs before you commit to a tier, since Semantic Ranker has its own quota and cost. Before you default to hybrid everywhere, weigh the operational cost. Vectors enlarge your index, which drives storage and the service tier you need. Embedding generation adds latency, and Azure OpenAI charges on every ingest and every query. Semantic ranking adds another build step and a per request quota. If your data is structured catalog fields and your queries are exact filters, plain keyword search is cheaper and simpler, and you should stop there. Layer in vectors and re-ranking only when relevance actually demands it. Here's the rule of thumb. Use keyword only when queries are exact, identifiers, codes, structured filters, and tight latency or cost budgets. Use vector only rarely, mainly for pure semantic similarity like recommendation or deduplication. For everything else, especially RG and natural language search over documents, reach for hybrid with semantic ranking. The actionable takeaway: start with hybrid plus semantic reranker as your default. Then measure relevance and strip back to keyword only if the simpler mode meets your bar. And because tiers, quotas, and model names change, confirm the current limits in the Azure docs before you ship. If this helped, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss the next one. See you in the next video.